Okay, so you can see right here I've got a whole lot of eggs in this bowl. I think I used maybe about a dozen. Um, what I plan on doing with these eggs is making some breakfast sandwiches, and of course you got to have pepper. I always got to add that pepper. And as I continue to add that pepper. Next, I'm going to beat these eggs because you got to beat those eggs into place. And that was quick. That's what you call time lapse. Quick, quick, quick. And I'm going to actually bake my eggs for my sandwiches instead of scrambling. I think this is going to be a lot easier. If I had this to do over again, and next time I do it over again, I will add some milk to make my eggs a little bit more fluffy. And also, if you wanted to, at this point, after you beat the eggs and before you put them in the oven, you could also add mushrooms, bell pepper, onion, whatever you wanted to add. And I think I had that set at 325, and I think I baked them for probably about 20-25 minutes, but watch them. So the eggs were done, and I lost a little bit of footage, but you can see from this footage what I'm doing. Instead of using Canadian bacon, I found some breakfast ham at the supermarket, and it was thicker and about the same price, so I opted to use it instead of the Canadian bacon. And all I did was split my English muffins. One thing I wish I had done was I wish I had added some, and you can see my egg. I wish I had added some butter and maybe toasted the English muffin before adding the egg and the Canadian bacon to it. But I can always do that next time, and the cheese. As far as the eggs, what I did was I used a canning lid to form my circles, and you could use that or a cookie cutter. Either one will work fine. And you don't even have to do that. You can just cut those into squares. But of course, I have a gazillion canning lids, so that's what I use. Why not? And it worked really well. Um, the last one that I did, I had ran out of perfect circles, and you'll see that in a minute what I had to do. And of course, funny story, the first one that my husband got out of the freezer was the one that had the little sections of eggs, and so that was a little bit confusing for him because he actually did decide to toast the English muffin, and so his egg kind of fell apart. But that's perfectly okay. He enjoyed it. Um, See how nice the egg works when you use your cannon lid. It's just a perfect circle. And of course, I mean, the cheese isn't, but that's okay too. Um, this was a really good way to do these, and I'll definitely do it this way again. I think we're coming up to the one, maybe not. I think I still have more. The last one is the one where I had to use the little pieces of egg that was left, and of course the pieces of that were left, the little end pieces, the the puppy dogs, Boone, Marley, and Rosebud. They had those for a little bit of protein, and of course they just thought that was just like a feast. They loved that. And you know, waste not, want not, right? And it was a nice treat for them. Anyway, so I'm going to stop talking for a minute and let you just enjoy the music. So here I am at the end, finished with those, and as you can see, I ended up with a pretty good amount of, I'll call them Thomas McMuffins, because I use Thomas bagels, and that's my last name, and and I made them. So as you can see, I ended up with 12 of them, and in order to not use up Ziploc bags, I just reused the bags that they came in, and that worked perfectly fine to get those in the freezer individually, but together in the bags they came in, if that made any sense. I think I just anyway, I hate doing these voiceovers, but it's the best way to do this video. I wasn't feeling well at the time I was making the video, so it just made more sense at the time to get the videos done, and to get the video done and then do the voiceover. But I'm not really great at this, so bear with me. But I did end up with 12 of the breakfast sandwiches, and they did fit perfectly back into the bags. I just discarded the paper insert that they originally came in and just used the bags, and there was no freezer burn. We've already used one bag, and it was a little over a week ago that I made these, and they've come out perfect. One thing is, when you are reheating these, you think I'm saying enough? When you're reheating these in the microwave or in the oven, you just want to make sure that you heat through and through. And like I said earlier, you may want to toast your English muffin and add a little bit of butter or something to moisten. I would say butter. That would be my thing of choice, but I don't know. You may want to add something else, but cream cheese, I don't know. But butter is just my thing. And it takes you have to kind of maneuver these a little bit to get them down in the back, but they do go in fine. And that this is a great way to store them. I think I've already said that. That little bag gave me some trouble though, but I made him conform. He had to conform to my wishes. And so there was that. Just put the little clip back on. And then I have two ready to go. And ta-da! As you can see with my hand. And there was that. So now I've switched gears and decided to make some breakfast burritos. And I use the Dean's brand mild pork sausage. Of course, you could use hot pork sausage. You could make your own sausage, whatever, turkey sausage. This is just what my family prefers. And of course, I brought out my little green um, doohickey to smash down my sausage. I love that thing, even though sometimes it does give me trouble, and the sausage get or the whatever meat I'm smushing down gets stuck in that, and I have to use a knife. I have to use a knife to get it out of the little grooves, but it does do a good job of smashing down that meat. I'm not even sure what you call that. I know you call it something. Anyway, at this point, I am just 1 pound of sausage just crumbled up, and you just want to brown it. You just want to get it to the point where it's browned, and I'll let you enjoy a little bit more of that sassy music I've got playing. Doesn't it make you think you're in Paris? It did me. Anyway, I thought it was fun music. And of course, here comes Rosebud, just hoping that I'll drop something. Anytime I cook, as I've told you guys before, anytime I cook, she's in there and she is just hoping that mommy will drop something. And of course, I usually do. I probably just dropped something, so she went over to where I was. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. I love that little dog. Now at this point, once your meat is brown or almost brown, with just, as you can see, I have just a few little pieces of pink, go ahead and make sure that you drain that. Very important to go ahead and drain that. And here I am again with the eggs. I think this time I cracked maybe about 9 eggs, and the reason I think it was 9 eggs was because honestly I was starting to get short of eggs, and I'm thinking I might have used 9 to 12 eggs is what you want to use. And once again, you want to go ahead and pepper. Got to have that pepper. You know me, I got to have my pepper. And this is another time where you want to beat those eggs, and if you want to, you can add some mushrooms, bell pepper, onion, whatever you think, because as you can see, what I do is I just go ahead and pour my beaten eggs into my sausage. To me, it just makes sense. That way, everything is well incorporated. And if you have vegetables, like I said, this is go ahead and add those now. And I just I scramble my eggs, and if I have any little bit of pink in the sausage, that's going to go ahead and brown up, and it works really well, and everything gets really well incorporated. So I wasn't feeling well as I was doing this, scrambling this egg sausage mixture, and I was really tired. It had been a long day. It was at the end of a busy Sunday, and what I decided to do, and just so that you know, because this is something that you can do very easily, is just go ahead and finish scrambling your eggs, and just put them in a bowl that you can cover, that has a either with some aluminum foil or you know some kind of saran wrap, something like that. Oops, I dropped some. Or either something that has a top. Let them cool, and then you can just put them in the refrigerator, and the next day you can finish up, which is what I did. This is the next day. Like I said, I wasn't feeling well, and so I just let the eggs cool, the egg sausage mixture cool, and the next day my daughter was home and was there to help me, so we were able to get this done really quick. All we did was had our burritos ready, our tortilla shells, I mean, and what the kind of cheese that we used was the Kirkland, I think it's Fiesta blend or Mexican Fiesta, something like that. But you can use that, or you can use cheddar, Colby Jack, whatever you want to use. That's just up to your preference. But this is what we had on hand, and we just had a fun time together. fixing these breakfast burritos and listening to the radio and singing and talking about The Bachelorette and all of our other shows that we watch, and just had a fun time just enjoying each other's company. And it didn't take us long at all. We ended up with, I think, 14 of these, and we'll see at the end, make sure my math is correct. And we had a discussion about the correct way to roll these, because I have my very rustic method, and my daughter works at a very well-known, not Mexican food chain, but she works at a very well-known restaurant, fast food, as a incoming college student. She has a part-time job, and she sometimes rolls a certain wrap that they have. I'm not going to tell any names or anything, but she was rolling hers the way that she rolls those wraps when she makes those at work. And she was telling me, well, we can tell which ones are yours and which ones are mine. And it was the truth. We could, but we had a really good time together. And I was very, very thankful that she was there, was at the house, and when I decided to go ahead and finish these, and you can see Rosebud, of course, is right there at my feet, ready for me to drop something anytime I say, and she's looking at me as I'm recording this also, and thinking, are you going to drop something? But anyway, she's always ready for me to drop some kind of morsel of some goodness. So we just had a good time. Now, I didn't grill these the way that I did the chicken burritos and the beef burritos, which I had done a video for those, and I'll link that in the iCard or in the description or somewhere so that you can refer to that. But you definitely could do that also, and that would be delicious. It'd give it that crunch. I just honestly, I just didn't think about it, and my son reminded me that I didn't, but because he loves that, he loves the crunch. But you could do that, and I may do that next time. And like I said, I'll link that video so that you can refer back to it, or if you haven't seen it, it's another good idea to do some meal prep, some freezer banking of some chicken burritos and some beef burritos. I know I'm using a lot of aluminum foil for both the breakfast sandwiches and the burritos. And if you don't like using aluminum foil or you're not comfortable with that, you could of course use saran wrap or whatever your favored method of preserving things in the freezer would be. I guess freezer paper, you could use that. This is just what I had on hand, and it worked well for us. As you can see, I would tear off a larger piece of the foil, and then I would divide that into two. That's just up to you. Some people do not like to use aluminum foil, and some of us just don't care. And we use it. That's a preference, and you have to make that choice. If you don't want to use aluminum foil, then use what is right for you. Use what you need. So we're finishing up, and got to make sure the air is out of my cheese, I see. And all of the pieces of aluminum foil, we'll save those and we'll use those for other meal prep or wrapping up individual whatever. Now let's see if I was right. We see 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Ta-da! 14 burritos. So we have 14 of the sausage, egg, and cheese burritos, and we had 12 of the breakfast sandwiches for a grand total of 26 breakfasts. Not too bad. Anyway, if you like this video, if you like what we do, please share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll receive a notification when more videos come out. I appreciate every one of you for supporting me. You have no idea how much it means to me. Every one of you inspire me. There's just so many great YouTubers that I just enjoy watching and that inspire me also. Thank you so much, and y'all have a blessed day.